Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're talking about, well, one of humanity's oldest and maybe most successful technologies, animal domestication, made of flesh and bone. Our mission here is to unpack how this technology evolved, the technical side, what big survival problems it solved for early humans, and the huge impact it had on society.
Yeah, and it's really important how we frame this. Domestication.
Yeah.
It started way back, late Paleolithic. It wasn't just about finding pets. It was really humanity's first big step, you could say, from just taking, hunting to trying to build a kind of coexistence across species.
Coexistence, that's an interesting word for it.
Well, maybe a generous one sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about controlling a species' food, its breeding. You have to ask, was it ever truly mutual from the start?
Right, that may be forced coexistence, initially at least.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. So, okay, the timeline. Dogs are the oldest, yeah. Potentially way back, like 33,000 years ago, maybe East Asia?
That's one leading theory, yes.
Yeah.
And they took what we call the commensal pathway.
Commensal pathway. What does that mean exactly?
It basically means, well, self-domestication is a good way to put it. Think less aggressive wolves, maybe bolder ones, drawn to human camps for scraps. They benefited from our waste. We maybe benefited from them being around. An early warning system, perhaps, can have started accidentally without humans intentionally breeding them at first.
So it starts passively, but how do we know this technically? Like, what changed in the animals themselves that we can measure?
Okay, good question. We see it in genetics and behavior. Diet's a big one. Your average dog today, it has something like 12 times the gene copies for digesting starch compared to wolves. That let them thrive on our leftovers, especially once agriculture kicked in.
12 times! Wow, okay. And behaviorally.
The key metric often cited is flight distance. How close can a human get before the animal bolts? Wild ancestors, maybe over 50 meters. Domestic dogs, it's consistently under 10 meters. That's a huge reduction in fear, and it suggests selection, even if initially unintentional.
Under 10 meters, that's a big shift. Okay, so contrast that sort of passive dog route with something like goats. They came later, right?
Much later, yeah.
Yeah.
Around 10,000 years ago, Near East, the Fertile Crescent. And this was different. This was the intentional prey pathway.
Prey pathway, meaning we were already hunting them.
Yeah,
and then
exactly. We transitioned from hunting them to managing them. The archaeology, like at places such as Ganj, it shows clear signs of selective slaughter. They were choosing which animals to kill, keeping more adult females for breeding, slaughtering younger males for meat. This wasn't accidental. This was active herd management. Humans engineering the species for things like smaller horns, maybe better milk or wool.
Right, deliberate species modification. And this tech, this domestication, it must have solved some massive problems for early humans. Before this, life was pretty precarious, food-wise.
Oh, absolutely. Severe food insecurity, constant pressure from hunting and gathering. You hear about the broad spectrum revolution. That was basically people desperately trying to eat anything available because big game was maybe getting scarcer or harder to hunt.
So domestication provides stability.
Exactly. Stable protein, meat, milk, eggs, suddenly reliable. And ruminants, like goats and sheep, they were amazing. They solved this huge biotechnical challenge. They could eat plants, grasses, stuff we can't digest, cellulose, and turn it directly into high-value protein and fat that we can eat. It's like a biological converter.
A biological converter, I like that. And beyond just food, what else? Security? Labor?
Both. Dogs definitely offered security, early warning, maybe helped in hunts. But the really massive long-term game changer was labor.
Okay, how so?
Think specialized roles. Suddenly you have oxen pulling plows, horses for transport, eventually warfare, camels carrying goods across deserts. This drastically increased agricultural output. It expanded human mobility, allowing for things like complex nomadic pastoralism, managing different livestock across varied terrains.
So this controlled this stability in food and labor. That's the foundation for, well, everything that came next, the agricultural revolution.
Pretty much, yes. You could call it the first great industrial revolution, in a sense. It was catalyzed by mastering animal resources.
And what did that do to society itself?
Well, that's where the really profound shifts happen. Managing specialized herds, it basically forced the first great social division. You had people specializing purely in animal husbandry, separating from those focused only on farming crops. This specialization, plus the resource stability, allowed people to settle down. Sedentary life. And that's the bedrock for developing complex societies, villages, towns, eventually cities, with specialized craftspeople, leaders, priests.
And culturally, these animals must have become incredibly important, not just tools or food.
Oh, absolutely central. They moved beyond just utility. They became woven into the fabric of culture, even religion. Think about early trade networks built on exchanging hides, wool, dairy products.
Mhm.
And then look at religious symbolism, the Lamb of God in Christianity, the importance of sacrifice in traditions like the Gerbang festival. These animals became sacred.
So domestication really did reshape human destiny then. It let us move beyond the limits of hunting and gathering, control our resources, and build, well, the complex world we live in now.
Completely.
Mhm.
It fundamentally altered our relationship with the planet and enabled societies of a scale and complexity that were unimaginable before.
It's quite something to think that our whole civilization, in many ways, rests on this relationship, this technology that's maybe 33,000 years old, a mix of coexistence and, let's face it, innovation geared towards control.
Right. And maybe that leaves us with a final thought. We started by engineering other species for collaboration, drastically reducing that flight distance. As we continue using technology to shape the natural world today, with ever more powerful tools, are we still thinking about coexistence? Or is it all about control now?